you just joined us on the System After Dark, this is a homegrown number courtesy of E3 and Cracker. Bulla, how's it going? I'm D, your host on the System After Dark, right here on Today FM. Today's hit music. You can catch me weeknights at 7 p.m. That's from Monday to Friday, only on the home of Today's hit music. And don't forget, that's D with you every weeknight on the System After Dark.
Smoking packs, quick experience from the doctor's lab. Even got that homebrew flowing.
In this bulletin, Foreign Ministry puts in the final touches in preparation for state visit by Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Police Commissioner announces reshuffle in senior hierarchy. And Golan Heights peacekeepers say they were well treated by the Al-Nusra Front. Good evening, I'm Edwin Nand. Police Commissioner Ben Hunewald has reshuffled the senior hierarchy of the organization and made some appointments. He says the changes were made after a two-day meeting attended by members of his inner core, component directors and divisional police commanders to discuss their strategic position and way forward. Assistant Commissioner of Police ACP Isikeli Vuniwanga, the Force Inspector General, is appointed as Acting Deputy Police Commissioner, but he will retain certain responsibilities as Inspector General. ACP Henry Brown, Chief Administration Officer, ACP Rusiate Tundravu remains as Chief Operations Officer but will be responsible for operational matters such as uniform policing, border police and special operations. And ACP Henry Brown is given the responsibilities of Criminal Investigations Department, Intelligence, Internal Affairs and Prosecution. Senior Superintendent Una Vuniwanga, Director Plans, is promoted to Acting Assistant Commissioner of Police and will act as Chief Administration Officer. The appointments will come into effect on December 1st. Hunewald has said that pursuant to his policy on transparency, the positions of Acting Deputy Police Commissioner, Chief Administration Officer and Director Plans will be advertised internally as well as externally as soon as possible. He also says the reshuffle in appointments is for the betterment of not only the Fiji Police Force but also the communities of Fiji in terms of better services. Final preparations are underway to welcome India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Fiji on Wednesday. Shanal Sivan looks at what's been happening on the ground in the lead up to the big day.
The signs are obvious. Fiji is laying out the red carpet in preparation for the arrival of Narendra Modi, the leader of the largest democratic nation in the world. Billboards have been put up along the King's Highway from Nausori to the capital, Suva, displaying welcome signs for Modi. Fiji's High Commissioner to India, Yogesh Karan, says they are working round the clock for what is possibly the most significant state visit in Fiji's recent history.
Foreign Affairs is extremely busy because there are two visits back to back, and we wanted to ensure that everything is in place, and we are not even a single step short. So we are hopeful that by end of today, most of the things will be finalized in terms of preparations, and final checks tomorrow, and Wednesday will be ready to host the Prime Minister.
A traditional welcome ceremony will be hosted at the Albert Park in Suva on Wednesday. Members of the public have also been invited to the event in what is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to meet a Prime Minister of India. Narendra Modi is bringing a large delegation of government officials as well as journalists covering his state visit, exposure for Fiji on a global scale.
Media, there is both the private TV channels, radio channels, printed media, and of course the official. And in total, as far as I know, my records back in Delhi, it's more than 22 media channels that are going to be here.
So there's a lot of interest.
There is a lot of interest. And some are coming directly from India. There's some group, as I understand, would be coming after covering the G20. But we have cleared some that are coming directly from Delhi to Suva.
The leader of the BJP will be meeting government ministers, parliament members, officials from other Pacific countries, and will also make an address at the Fiji National University in Nasinu on Wednesday evening. He flies out the next day. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
45 Fijian soldiers who spent 2 weeks in captivity with the Al-Nusra Front in the Golan Heights say they were treated well. They were recently in Jerusalem, Israel, as part of their rehabilitation. Watisuni Rakanroka with the story.
Hundreds monitoring the line between the Israeli occupied.
Although they were taken captivity by rebels, the Al-Nusra Front, these soldiers say they were never mistreated during their 2-week detention.
We were taken, and the Al-Nusra told us that we are their visitors, and they didn't tie our hands like prisoners. They treated us well, and there was no time that they treat us like prisoners until we knew that we are being held captive, where our pastor told us to fast and pray.
Rambuka adds for him and fellow Fijians, it was the power of prayer and fasting that kept them safe and in good health.
We fasted and prayed for 15 days while detained, and we saw God's miracle when the Al-Nusra guards just left their guns in our room and went to gather some apples and grapes to prepare our meal for the day, and the guards slept with us inside our room.
When the 45 men were released on September 11th, Rambuka says they were escorted to the UN base by members of the Al-Nusra Front as peacekeepers from the Philippines watched.
When we were released, the whole world was watching, that we were hugging and crying, while the Philippines and Fijian soldiers were watching where the Al-Nusra dropped us, and we thank God that this was His will, that we made it back.
All 45 have decided to stay on and complete their mission in the Golan Heights. For now, they are celebrating the Feast of the Tabernacle in Jerusalem, Israel. Watisuni Rakanroka, FBC News.
The Nausori Town Council is looking for ideas on what to do with the current market, which is due for closure in about 4 months. It's calling for expressions of interest from any individual, institution or company which wants to enter into a private-public partnership to develop the market site. The Town Council says it's open to commercial investment projects or any other arrangement within the downtown area. Nausori Town, the 4th most populous municipality according to the 2007 census, is said to be going through an urban renewal program, including the readjustment and construction of public facilities. A new market and bus stand, currently under construction, will open in March 2015. Coming up after the break, the Fijian resort begins $25 million investment to mark 47th anniversary.
Great words there from Lucky Dube and Baban. I hope you enjoyed that number. Different colors just for you. On Gold FM, only the classic hits. Louise with you on the Center Show. Well, thank you so much for the sweet company. This is Alana Miles, one of my favorites, and Black Velvet for you. Hi there. Join me on the Center Show every weekday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the best sounds on Gold FM. Only the classic hits.
The Shangri-La Fijian Resort is gearing up for exciting changes after 47 years of existence. The resort marks 40 years of association with Shangri-La this year and is planning renovations estimated at $25 million. Christopher Chand reports.
The iconic Fijian resort along the Coral Coast is set to undergo major refurbishments.
We have obviously renovation plans, and without revealing too much, I can say that we've finalized the scope of works. We're going through designs now.
The renovations will start next year with major construction plans for trademark portions of the hotel.
We will be renovating the lagoon wing. That's the 5 accommodation blocks, our F&B outlets, the lobby area to improve the sense of arrival and departure, resurfacing around the pool, improving the landscaping, building a brand new laundry, and also improving our staff facilities and we'll be strengthening and reinforcing the causeway bridge that brings our guests across to the island.
Craig Powell is the new general manager. He has come back home to lead the resort following Michael Monk's departure.
It's a blessing to go full circle and come home to a place that's very special to me. Here at Shangri-La's Fijian Resort and Spa is where I began my career with Shangri-La. And I must say it's been an incredible journey.
The Fijian resort hopes to continue working closely with Tourism Fiji to attract visitors from new markets. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
A new commercial complex has opened in Vulovi, Lambasa, adding to the economy in the Northern Division. Tonight's successful Fijian segment looks at Nazim Shah, who set up shop in 2009.
There is more than what meets the eye at Jim's service station in Vulovi, Lambasa. This complex isn't just for filling up your car. As owner Nazim Baksh proudly says, it caters for a shopper's every need.
I have supermarket, bread shop, fish shop, tire machine, DVD shop, pounding machine, billiard shop, car wash.
Shah opened the business after selling his shopping center in Senganga. He's invested over $1 million into the service station.
When I came in business in 2009, I was renting beside this shopping mall. So I saw the people from this side are very friendly, and we all know each other, and all the government department, they are this side, and it is beside the road.
Jim's service station didn't start off as a shopping complex. It grew over the years as Shah responded to the needs of people living around the Vulovi area.
When I started the service station business, people start telling me you do supermarket business, so I started supermarket. After that, I bought bakery. The demand, as soon as all the demands start coming, I did all the small business, demands of the people.
Vulovi is about 2 kilometers outside Lambasa town itself. Shah is one of the first businessmen to set up in the area, which is in the coming years will be prime location for commerce as development continues. Nazim Shah also picked a great location for service station, right next to the main road where there is heavy traffic any time of the day.
The community is benefiting because of 24/7. Anytime they can come in do the filling. My bread shop is open 24 hours. And in my shopping mall, there is everything. Everything is in my shopping mall.
Having already established this complex, he's going to open another service station in the middle of Lambasa town. Following that, Shah is branching out to Navua.
My future plan is now, after this, I will be moving to town service station, the Carpenter service station. Might be next month or sometimes in December. There will be a grand opening for the service station. But after that one, I am going to Navua where the new hospital is. Opposite is my commercial land. I am going to develop there. About $3 million shopping mall.
Shah is also heavily involved with community work in Vulovi and supports the Yellow Ribbon program in Lambasa. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
In sports news after the break, talent pool at Coral Coast Sevens impresses Sevens legend Carl Tanana. And local golfers eye gold at the 2015 Pacific Games.
देश की धड़कन रेडियो फीजी 2 का ये प्रसारण आपके कार्यक्रम में आपका स्वागत है हम कर रहे हैं। याद रखते हैं अभी से लेकर रात 12 तक यह सिलसिला खबर और आपका चलता रहेगा। दृष्टिकोण में आपका हम स्वागत कर रहे हैं। दृष्टिकोण के तुरंत बाद आगे बढ़ते हैं कार्यक्रम में। इधर कहते हैं कि गहरी थी रात लेकिन हम सोए नहीं, गहरी थी रात लेकिन हम सोए नहीं, दर्द बहुत था दिल में पर हम रोए नहीं, कोई नहीं हमारा जो पूछे हमसे, जाग रहे हो किसके लिए या किसी के लिए सोए नहीं। याद रखें, गीत संगीत का तकाजा आपके लिए रात 12 तक, आपको हम सोने नहीं देंगे। महकती रातें हर सोमवार से लेकर शुक्रवार तक रात 7 से लेकर 12 के बीच रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन पर रविंद्र सिंह के साथ।
Welcome back. The Flying Fijians team lost narrowly to Wales 17-13 in their second consecutive loss in the Europe Tour. The home team started the match on a high note, scoring 2 tries from wingers Alex Cuthbert and George North. Fiji maintained its defence and Nemanja Nandolo converted 2 penalties out of 4 in the first half, but that wasn't enough as the Welsh led 7-6 at half-time. Prop Campisi Mafu was then given the marching orders in the 52nd minute after a dangerous tackle on a Welsh player during a line-out. Despite being one man down, the Fijians came out strong in the second half, with Nandolo intercepting a pass from his own 22-metre line and sprinting across the field to score. The Flying Fijians take on USA in the last match of the tour next weekend. In another international played this morning, England lost 31-28 to South Africa. The All Blacks beat Scotland 24-16, while France defeated the Wallabies 29-26. The police team has created history, winning the Bailey's Coral Coast Sevens in Singatoka yesterday. Having been runners-up in 2012 and 2013, the team beat a spirited Ndaveta side 38-10 in the final. Josephine Navula reports.
The police team started the match on a high note with Petheli Nandure and Propke Ponipol scoring a try each to help their side lead 19-0 at half-time. Team coach Manas Sambari says the boys maintained discipline throughout the tournament.
I salute my boys. I take my hats off to my boys, young boys, even though there's no unknown name in this team. But there's one strength with us in these 3 days.
Barry adds the match against the defending champions Yamadia in the semi-final was a crucial one.
We already told the boys we can't go through to the final if we lost one final. We treat each game as a final. That's why they work hard.
Even former New Zealand Sevens captain and commentator at the tournament, Carlton Nana, was impressed with the way the team played throughout. Coming from the Sevens legend, it's a sure sign that police are on top when it comes to local rugby.
I think police deserve the win today. I mean, day 1 they were okay, day 2 they still started to build into it, but I think day 3 they were outstanding. They were the best team by far, and the way they really ran away with their final, I think really showed how they grew over the tournament and what sort of talent they've got over here.
Vodafone Fiji Sevens coach Ben Ryan is expected to name his 18-member squad for the Dubai and South Africa Sevens tomorrow. Josephine Navula, FBC Sports.
The Aussie Pearls' victory at the 2014 Bailey's Coral Coast Sevens is seen as a perfect build-up for the Dubai Sevens next month. The Pearls proved too strong, beating Serevi Select 19-7 in the final. Coach Tim Walsh says being part of the Coral Coast Sevens was a great opportunity.
We love coming here. It's always a great tournament, and it's good preparation for us leading into Dubai. So to get some confidence up and play against some quality teams. I mean, we were really pushed in the semi-final and the finals.
The Tim Walsh coached side earlier beat Marist Seahawks 17-12 in the semi-final. The Vodafone Fiji Under-20 football side has had to endure cold weather and strong winds in its build-up to the OFC President's Cup. The side, which will be playing its first game tomorrow against Amical of Vanuatu, is hoping there's a change in weather before the match. Inder Singh reports from Auckland, New Zealand.
Wrapped up in warm to fight the cold, but it's another element that is a concern for these youngsters.
Of course, yes, it's a lot of wind, and we are playing in this weather. It's very difficult to play football. The players are struggling, and it's not only for our team, it will be for all the teams, as none of the footballing teams are used to this weather and the wind.
The side held a training run at the Trust Stadium to adapt to the conditions, but are ready to play as they know it's a perfect build-up to the 2015 World Cup to be played in New Zealand.
And another challenge up in the President's Cup, where we'll see teams who are senior than us, but then we are preparing ourselves for the World Cup, and this is a very good ground for us to train with the senior players and set up our structure.
The team has been away from home for the past 2 weeks as they toured Australia and now are in New Zealand. But the discipline of these youngsters has impressed the mentor.
Of course, yes. We have seen the commitment from our players. We have seen the discipline from our players. It's of a high standard, and you have seen them staying and sacrificing their one of the festivals in Fiji. That was Diwali. They were in the camp, and now since then they are with us, and we don't have any problems from there on.
It's game day tomorrow, and regardless of what the weather elements put up, it's the cry of Fiji which these Fijians want to ring the loudest. It's Amikal first up at 7:30 p.m. and sure enough, it's time for action and not excuses. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
Stiff competition is expected in one of the last quarter-mile drag races of the year. There are 8 categories to compete in, and the Fiji Car Club says it's a good time for up-and-coming race car drivers.
Suman Kumar is the only female race driver in a growing sport that's mostly dominated by men. She never thought about getting behind the wheels to compete, but after her first run, Kumar says there is no going back.
Initially, when I had gone on the tracks on Sunday last week, I had not planned to. In fact, I was going to watch my husband and the others. My brother is also one of those participants. And then I've been following Fiji Car Club on track racings and drag wars. But when I went there, I saw the atmosphere. It was like quite challenging. That urged me to actually participate.
There have been women competing in the Fiji Car Club quarter-mile races at various stages, but there hasn't been much consistency in getting competitors on the tracks. With interest in motorsports growing, the club is hoping for better turnouts in the future. The current champion would also like a challenge.
Our ladies, my friends, I urge you, let's prove it. As ladies, we can do everything and anything, and I'm actually requesting all of you to please make your way to the tracks on November 23rd racing, and I'd like to request the husbands and your partners, please give your wives a chance. It's an opportunity. We don't normally get this opportunity, and Fiji Car Club is bringing this opportunity to us.
The next race is scheduled for next Sunday in Pacific Harbour. This is the Holden Belina Kumar used to complete the race. It is a V6 engine of 3.8 litres. She completed the quarter-mile drag in a time of 17.32 seconds. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
The New Zealand Rugby League team secured its second Four Nations title after a thrilling 22-18 win over Australia last night. The Kiwis led 14-6 at halftime. Here are the highlights.
Aussies when he launched the Steeden. Kicking from 11 metres out. Comes down short of the goal line. It's free. Into the arms of Johnson. Out to Farai. Out to Marigan. And to him, he's beaten Bird. I reckon Bird's concussed at the moment. Johnson, long ball. And in front, Batime. Evan Chiriamjasu should get there. Unloads. Battaglia scores. To know. Look at the speed. Look at the speed. The road runner. Bridge their 10-point deficit. Battaglia forward to Krug, then passes inside, and over the ball to Smith, gives it along, Walker, Battaglia, what a pick-up!
New Zealand also notched consecutive wins against Australia for the first time in 61 years, avenging its loss to the Wallabies in last year's Rugby League World Cup final. Generally fine weather prevailed over the country today. A weak trough of low pressure remains slow moving over Vanuatu and extends eastwards over Rotuma to Wallis and north of Niue to southern Cooks. Temperatures were fairly even throughout the main centres, ranging between 29 and 32 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow expect cloudy conditions in Suva and Savu-Savu but fine conditions elsewhere. For Tuesday, fine apart from brief showers over the interior and eastern parts of the larger islands, elsewhere possible afternoon or evening showers. And our main points once again. Police Commissioner Ben Hunewald has reshuffled his senior hierarchy to improve services. Final touches are being made in preparation for a state visit by Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And Nausori Town Council has invited proposals for the soon-to-be-closed municipal market. And our weekly poll question, are you satisfied with the education reforms announced recently? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can also send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email, citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj, or share it with us via our Facebook page, FBC News, or if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That's our news for tonight. I'll be back in just a few minutes with For the Record. Bye for now.
यू ट्रेन से मिर्ची एफएम पर रफ्तार में मैं आपके हम सफर साथी कृष्णील शामिल हो चुका हूं और पीजी में विदेश में आप जहां कहीं पर भी हमें सुन रहे हैं, कृष्णील का प्यार आप तमाम दोस्तों तक पहुंचे। हेलो गाइस, मैं हूं डीजे कृष्णील। आप हमें सुन सकते हैं मिर्ची एफएम रफ्तार में मंडे टू फ्राइडे शाम 3 से लेकर रात 7 तक हम आपको रॉक कराएंगे। मिर्ची एफएम, इट्स हॉट।
अब दिल करता है हौले हौले से मैं तो खुद को